All right, so what's trending this morning? Well, yesterday at the Federal High Court in Abuja, two cases, came to the fore. The release of, on bail of the ex-Kaduna State Governor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, and of course, the court also granting a bail of 5 million naira to Justice Chidebere Mark, popularly known as Justice Crack. Now, ruling on the bail application filed by Mr. Crack, Justice Abdulmalik held that the surety must reside within the jurisdiction of the court at a fixed address for at least 4 years and must deposit proof of residence either through a tenancy agreement or certificate of occupancy at the court registry, which of course all of the bail arrangements have been met yesterday by the Justice Crack team. I want us to listen to some of the lawyers who spoke yesterday after Justice Joyce Abdulmalik, granted Justice Crack bail.
He didn't talk anything against the soldier, and since his arrest or kidnapping, there has been no unrest in the military. There has been no issue that the military responded to that post. So basically, the conditions for finding him guilty of those charges do not exist, and that's what we're going to prove. But every trial is a trial. It calls for seriousness, and while we talk to the media, but we will do more working in chambers, and I'm confident that my Lord Justice knows the law and will do the right thing, and justice will be free. It's sad that he's not free today. It's normal condition. Best will be performed. You fit the conditions, then you get free. So far so good. Thank you so much.
So we just finished from court today, and the court has had the bail application of Justice Mark Chidebere and has granted the bail, even though the bail conditions were not too stringent but was a bit stringent. The Office of the Attorney General filed a counter to oppose to the bail application, and it was based on their counter that the liberal terms that we ought to have gotten was not too liberal, and it's just so unfortunate that we couldn't take this bail application on Thursday.
While we are happy about Justice Crack's release on bail, well, there were a lot of other issues surrounding his release yesterday. A lot of human rights lawyers alleged that some of the security operatives stopped them from entering the court. Showore, who is always in court every now and then at the center of the controversy yesterday, but Justice Crack has been released on bail. The substantive issue still remains, but this is just a bail. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, a big tick, a big check, because to be very honest with you, Praise, there's nothing like somebody being, the liberty, the freedom. It's, he's on bail, but he can go about his, all he needs to do is to be in court when he's supposed to. Until someone's freedom is being restricted, you might not know what we are enjoying. And now that the case has been taken to court, is already in court, I hope that part of his rights that were trampled on, because over time he was held more than he was supposed to.
He was held the whole stage.
Yeah,
let's put that. In fact, he was abducted.
Even before he, Nigerians started making noise. First of all, he was taken. Nobody knew where he was. Sometimes I imagine, had Nigerians not started asking about Justice Crack, what would have been of him? Will the military remember that they are supposed to take him to court, or do they have other motives? Because the right thing to do is, okay, somebody has defaulted, somebody has, done something wrong, take him to the court. But it was until Nigerians started wailing and shouting and looking for him that was when they now came out to say that justice.
Power of social media.
Yeah.
The same social media that took him to
It gives
jail.
me goosebumps. Like, had it been we are in a nonchalant kind of space, like it's not my business, Justice Crack is not my relative, what would have been of him? Would they keep torturing him until what happened? So I just hope that all these things will be put into consideration, because everybody now is talking about cyber stalking that he has committed. And see, thank God that he's out, and thank God, I pray that justice prevails, like his name is, you know. And on the side of the security men, our security men, in as much as, you know, people always believe that military is another world, but the last time we checked, they were human beings before they became military men. Okay. something of concern will always prompt people to talk, whether it is in their places to talk about it or not, but people will always talk. I'm calling on the military. At the end of this Justice Cracks issue, they should also take it upon themselves to be sure to go through, to investigate that their means, their platform for complaints when it comes to their men is actually working, that is actually functional.
Because they pointed it out in one of their press releases when this case was, you know, the citizens should go through the appropriate measures when they want to lay complaints.
So let them be sure that the platform is working, because it is like this today. We don't know how it's going to look like when the military men who feel that they are not being treated well starts their own protest.
You know, just to take from what you just raised now, I'm thinking, if Justice Crack had gone through the complaints,
the right process to lay his complaint,
would this issue have come to the fore? That's an honest question we need to ask.
Would he even be treated, you know, nicely?
I think the first question they will ask him is, how did you get the information?
We are in a country where there's always a twist. Even it is in matters like this that they will tell you go through the right process. Nigerians had long forgotten right process. Do you know? I think it's about 15 years ago or 10 years ago when they did due process. Nigerians are done with due process, because in as much as you might see little light in some sector when it comes to due processes, and that is because of maybe who the leadership is upon, somebody who still has conscience. But you see due process in Nigeria, Nigerians will rather forget about that case than, you know, go through the due process. oh yes.
Well, as we draw this conversation to a close this morning, beginning from the APC senatorial primaries and all of the controversies, especially in Delta State, I think we must realize that in life there are some battles you win and there are some that you will lose. For those who won, congratulations to them. To those who lost, if you feel you were cheated and you have the facts that you were cheated, you know.
Because there are those who are still going to re-win after the legal process.
I think one of the House of Reps, is the House of Reps of Plateau State, I think Gagi is his name. He actually lost. And then I think they overturned the first result, and then he won the second one. I don't know whatever happened there. But
and I think a lot of them are going to happen, because seeing the video going viral on social media, where from 10, somebody hopped to 100, from 100 to 700, there will be a lot of overturns.
Well, let's not open that. Let's not open that. And then to the Oyo State's very sad situation, we're calling on the federal government to take decisive action. Now, when we talk about decisive action, we are not saying that you're not taking steps. You are, but it's not enough. Yes, the measures put in by the federal government is not commensurate with, you know, all of these attacks and abduction. When these people come, they will tell you that we are here. They will tell you that we have done something. But for the military, can we say that anytime you go after these people, that something significant leaves their rank? That's a question that we need to, and that should be the, you know, the judgment for the efficacy of whatever policy and measures that the federal government is putting forward. And then as for Justice Crack, he has been released on bail, and other issues still remain on the legal table. But then there's also a call that right process should be followed whenever you want to lay a complaint. You have your House of Rep member representing your constituency. You have the lawmaker representing your senatorial district. These are right channels. There's even the media, civil society organizations, human rights groups that you can approach to issues like this. Whether like it or not, there are still concerns about the issue that Justice Crack raised and its ability to cause disunity and weaken the morale of soldiers within the army rank. And of course, you don't expect the Nigerian military to just keep their mouth shut. But for this morning, this is where we're going to wrap it up on what's trending